Hey, welcome to the Push-Pull Sales and Marketing Podcast. I'm Marcella.
And I'm Sherry, and each week we'll provide you with sales and marketing strategies that you can implement immediately into your own business. Today we're going to be talking about some tools that you guys can use if you're blogging or managing social media, or really anything in the digital marketing realm. I started momshare.com about 2 years ago, and anything you see on that site is coming from me. All the social media, all the blog posts, all the side stuff. For a lot of people starting out with blogging, it is a one-man show, and we're expected to know everything and do everything and keep up with everything. If you're not posting regularly to the blog, if you're not posting regularly to social media, people tend to forget about you and all that hard work that you had done. Seems like it, just kind of falls off. So whether you're doing things for your own site, or whether you're working for another company, which I'm currently doing as well, doing some blogging and social media for a few other businesses. Hopefully today's podcast will help you guys with a couple tools, some apps, some websites, some resources that you can jump in.
You've been blogging,
I've been blogging for a lot longer than that.
You did for other companies and for other businesses too, and for some personal brands as well.
Yeah, so I've been blogging as a whole. Having my own site to focus on and to jump in with that really opened up a new kind of level for me. It wasn't anybody else saying, okay, we want this amount of content, and someone else would post it, or here's the dashboard and you put it here. It's me beginning to end from scratch, and no one else to lean on as far as Momshare goes. Some of the other stuff, I think one of the biggest benefits of having your own personal site is having that ability to learn how to do things, how to experiment with things, see what works and what doesn't work, without having to worry about, when I'm working for other brands, wouldn't take the same risks as I would with my own site. So as far as some everyday tools, things that I use on a daily basis to keep things organized, whether it's posts or communication with different contacts, sponsors, or different connections, probably my top resource is Evernote, and I'm sure you guys have all heard of Evernote. I mainly use the app on my phone. I love the different notebooks that you can create, and you can organize everything really, really nicely. It's quick to open. Anything you put in the app, it's there on your computer. And I had asked for the Evernote notebook for Christmas, and Marcella got that for me this year, which I love that I can, if I'm ever somewhere, like when I went to the Blog U conference in June, all I took was my Evernote notebook. I was able to write in there physically with a pen, and then you take a picture with your phone, it shows up in the app, and it doesn't convert the text to digital text, but it makes all the text searchable, which is one of the best features. You can put regular pictures in there along with your text. And I just learned today that they actually have a browser add-on called Clearly that apparently you can, if you click Clearly, all it shows is the text, the main text of that web page, and you can highlight what you need. And then
is that kind of like in like Apple, like they have like the reading view? You can take any website, it takes out the pictures and all that stuff.
Right. So no pictures, no ads. just that, and then you can highlight things and it'll put it into Evernote for you, whatever you wanted there.
With the Evernote notebook, what if you have like terrible penmanship like me? Like, how does that make that
Have you tried it?
I haven't tried your notebook. I don't want to mess up your pages.
Yeah, we'll have to try it. I don't know how good the word detection is. My handwriting, it works okay, but...
Yeah, I'd have to check too, and I see also if you have like one of the Samsung Galaxy Note phablets or like their tabs. Evernote works really, really well. You can just take notes on the fly. I use that too, and I use that to organize any sort of sales ideas I might have, something I might think of, or any sort of examples or books. I don't really use the actual reminder feature or anything like that. Do you use that?
Yes, I actually use a reminder instead of my phone reminders now.
Okay.
So because I have it incorporated on my phone that if I scroll down from the top, my Evernote bar shows up right there. It's a good point about Evernote. It's great for jotting down ideas and kind of like quicker notes rather than documents. If I want a document that I'm going to be saving for a while or something that I need to work on, then I'm going to Google Docs and using that. Since I switched to my new computer, I didn't have the Word, like Microsoft Suite on it, so I switched over to Google Drive, Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google whatever else, Photos, Forms, and it was a little bit of a learning curve. I've been very, very happy with that. Organize Google Drive, basically how you would organize a desktop, and everything's in there. I love the automatic save feature. I love that you can go to past revisions. I love that you can edit in an edit mode. You can add comments. Other people can add comments. You can control who sees it, who edits it. I mean, anything you would want to do,
now
you're able to do it. And I'm able to do it for my iPhone too.
Are there issues with security though? I mean, as a business, because that's one thing like my company is a little bit leery about is what we're talking about is security. How secure is Google Drive? I mean, especially when you share information, all that stuff. Is that over email? What happens if someone doesn't have Google? I mean, do you use that also to collaborate with people as well, or do you use a different maybe sharing system for maybe projects and stuff like that?
Right now, I'm using it a lot for collaboration. It's an easy way to be able to send a link to clients. I have one lady that I'm working for, and she still prefers the typical Microsoft Word doc. So you can download it as a doc file and send it to her.
That's probably why like Microsoft now has, you can download their app for free too, and
right.
You can use it now. Yeah. You use their mobile app. I have for business, I have the 365, but on some of our other computers I have a legacy version, and didn't really upgrade to the was it like 365 or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. And I mean, as far as security, the stuff that I'm putting on there is stuff that's ending up on the web anyway. It's stuff that I'm working on for blog posts or ebooks or white papers. It's all getting pushed out. I'm not putting secret bank information or anything like that on there at the moment. So
yeah, I've heard of other companies actually use similar systems or Google Drive or OneDrive and use it basically as like a file storage system. So if there's like sensitive client documents, or if you have a document that let's say has all your marketing passwords, which actually we had that idea and then we became a little bit leery. So okay, well, if we put all our marketing passwords here and we share this with an employee and stuff like that, and the employee has access, when I let that employee go, I have to worry about retrieving that and how easy it is for that, for them to go in and change that or to keep things up to date.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that I'm not too familiar with that aspect. I'm sure there's ways that you can find out or contact them directly as far as security issues. I also want to mention along the lines of the Google stuff, the Google Docs app works great. There are times when I'm at the park or at the pool with my kids and I get an email saying, hey, quick edit, and I don't have to wait 2 hours till I'm back at my laptop. I can make the edit right then and there. They have it automatically. It's live. It's good to go. It keeps everybody happy. I also started using Google Forms, which is great for capturing. I set it up. I'm managing a blog ambassador campaign. So I set it up as kind of an application form that I can share the link. People go to that link. They fill out all their information. I was able to choose which questions I wanted to ask, just like an online application. And then all the data that they enter automatically gets compiled in a Google Sheet.
Okay. Can you also use that like kind of like SurveyMonkey?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you wanted to survey your clients, you can also send them a link, and then it saves that and all that stuff. That's pretty cool.
The
that
questions,
makes it
you can do whatever. You can do questions as far as they can enter text. You can have questions, multiple choice. You can have, there's tons of options as far as what you could do with it. And the sorting the data is what is so valuable too, that it automatically captures all of that and sorts it for you and puts it there. As far as some other things that I'm using daily, Buffer is a huge one. I don't pay for a lot of things. I'm pretty cheap, and I like to try to find all these free resources.
Frugal.
Frugal. All right, not cheap, frugal. I pretty much most of the things that I'll mention today, I think all of them, there are free versions of them. So Buffer, you can get a free version. Basically what it is a tool to help you schedule social media. So I have quite a few accounts linked through Buffer for a variety of clients and for myself. And I tend to go on binges where I'm on websites and I'm looking at articles and I'm looking at blog posts and I'm seeing all these things that I want to share. Obviously, I can't share all of them then and there. My readers would hate me and get annoyed and, unsubscribe. But with Buffer, you can add it to Buffer and it'll automatically push out those posts at the times that work best for that account. So you can track the analytics of your click-throughs, of your views, and it's keeping that data and optimizing when they push out your content.
So it knows when's the best time for Twitter, when's the best time for Facebook, and actually pushes that out.
Yep.
I was always curious about that. There are some, actually we were in talks, and this is for some different, for a CRM system, and it was a calling software and stuff like that, and they had mentioned, it finds when's the best time to reach out to your customers and all that stuff. I'm like, well, aside from, people in California, I'm not going to call them at 9 o'clock in the morning here, Eastern Standard Time, because it's 6 o'clock there, how they actually figure that out. Is there any sort of data that they tell you, like, hey, this is why this is the best time? How do they figure that out?
Yeah, and that's another thing that I would definitely recommend, and I'm going to get to that in a little bit, but the Buffer newsletter, I would absolutely subscribe to their email newsletter. The information that they send out regularly proves that they're kind of at the top of the field as far as social media. They have great data to back up what they're doing, but as with a lot of other tools, you kind of have to use it and teach it a little bit. Mm-hmm. So it kind of, they'll give you something that might be generic for your field. For mom bloggers, this is a time that would typically work. For deal bloggers, this is a time that usually works. But once you start using it, then they start to use your own data to better schedule things. And of course, you can schedule things on your own if you have something that you want to go out at a certain time. They just incorporated Pinterest, which was really big because prior Pinterest wasn't letting many third-party things schedule. So you can do Twitter, Pinterest, Facebook, Google+, LinkedIn.
Oh, you can do LinkedIn with
that? You can do Facebook Personal. You can do Facebook Pages. I don't think you can do Google+ Pages right now. Just your personal account.
Now you have the paid version.
I have the paid version.
You can only do it with the paid version, right?
So the paid version lets you do multiple accounts. So the free version, I think, last time I looked at it, it was like you could have one Twitter account, one Facebook account, one LinkedIn. So more for personal use if you're just doing it. For me, since I'm pushing out social media posts for a couple different brands, I wanted to upgrade, and it's what, $10 a month to be able to do that, and it saves me so much time. There's a little thing that you can put in your browser that if you're on the web page, you just click it, and it automatically buffers. And
just backtracking too, with the Evernote notebook, that also gets you premium. What's the difference between the regular version of Evernote and the premium while we're on that topic?
As far as premium, Evernote, I haven't gotten to the premium level, even though the premium subscription comes with the purchase of the Evernote notebook. You don't even
use that.
It's basically storage.
That's all it is, so you just get more files, and you said you don't even use it for storage anyway.
I didn't look at it too closely, but I also wanted to mention, as far as buffer, there's an iPhone app. You can set it up so that you can share the buffer right from your iPhone. You can also...
it's probably on Android, too.
I'm sure, yeah.
Maybe not a Windows phone or BlackBerry.
And they're pretty new, so every now and then there's a little bit of glitch stuff going on.
How new is Buffer?
I don't know, fairly new.
There was a couple. There was like a Seismic. There were other apps that would do that too, or like desktop applications.
Buffer seems to be pulling ahead, and I've been so impressed with their customer service. Anytime I've emailed or tweeted them, I get a response very quickly, and they're very nice about everything.
Again, I hate to keep bugging about that. Buffer, does it also abbreviate? Like, does it do like the whole Bitly? Like, it shortens hyperlinks too. That's cool.
Yep. It shortens that.
Does it is intuitive enough to like take a tweet and like send you YOUR to UR and grade to GR8 and stuff like that?
I don't think so. A lot of what I use it for is if I'm on a blog post, I say send it to Buffer, and what it'll grab is like the blog post title, maybe the site that it's on, and then the link. A lot of times I'm not changing anything that's in there.
Okay, you're just
I'm being lazy about it.
Yeah, makes sense.
I have a ton more to share, but if you like what you're hearing so far, please subscribe and rate us on iTunes. This helps us out a lot and helps new people find our podcast. If you have any suggestions for future topics, feedback about past episodes, or any questions, anything that you need clarified, you can email us at pushpoolsales@gmail.com or tweet us at pushpoolsales. We also provide show notes on our website. So for this episode, I have a whole bunch of links that I'm throwing up there for you guys that will take you to all of these sites, so you don't have to worry about jotting them down. Maybe I should have mentioned that at the beginning. And our website is pushpoolsales.com. I'm going to go through these kind of quickly because I have a lot more to cover. Feedly, check it out if you want a good reader. That's the reader I'd recommend keeping up with sites and blogs that you want to keep up with, since Facebook doesn't really show us what we want to see anymore. You can also buffer to Feedly very quickly, which is cool. There's a one-click thing.
Okay. So that's kind of like
an app.
It's like an RSS or like a Google Reader type thing.
Yeah. Google Reader doesn't exist anymore, I don't think.
I guess I never really did that, or like RSS feeds or anything like that. I mean, do you use Google Alerts at all for like certain industries and stuff?
For my name.
For your own name. Okay.
This is a weird one and one of the coolest things out there, and I feel like a lot of people don't know about it. It's called If This Then That, and they abbreviate it IFTTT.
Isn't it like you make like recipes and stuff like that? So
yep.
like you cook with it.
No, it's not a cooking app.
It's recipes though. You
create recipes, and that's what they call them, but you can pretty much do anything with it. So if you have location stuff on, so if I arrive at my work location, you put in the address, then add event to Google Calendar work calendar. So you could actually track
it'll know when
automatically
you get to work.
The hours that you're at work.
I don't know if I want to give that thing that kind of power.
You can do that. Other things you can do. If a certain email address emails me, you get a text message.
That's cool.
That is cool.
Now, does it slow down things at all? Like, if you notice it's running in the background?
I haven't had any problem with it slowing things down. They rolled out a bunch of new updates recently, and there was some issues with that, but everything seems to be sorted out now and running smoothly.
So it goes through all your emails, and it knows where you are?
If you let it. You can do all these settings. If you don't want it to do that, it doesn't have to do that. Another thing I have set up... Yeah, probably.
I think Snowden should know about this.
Probably. If... another one I have set up is anytime I post a picture... Okay, so you know when you're on Twitter and you're going through and it's like somebody posted a photo, but then it sends you an Instagram link?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of doing that, any picture you post to Instagram, it'll automatically turn it into a Twitter native picture and post it to Twitter so that it actually shows up in the feed as an image, not a link. Like I said, I mean, there's just endless things you can do. I'll include a link in the show notes of a whole bunch of recipes. It was actually a Buffer newsletter that they sent out a bunch of...
Yeah, you've been using that for a while. You've been tooting their horn for...
I know, I'm a fan. I'm a fan. So that one's pretty cool. And one other quick thing that I use a lot is just the WordPress app. For Momshare and for Freemania, I blog through WordPress. So a lot of times I have pictures on my phone, and I need to get them obviously into WordPress. And the quickest way I've found is to just upload that image in the WordPress app, save that post as a draft, and when you're on your computer, it's already in your media library as an image, rather than trying to transfer it over to the computer and then upload it from the computer to WordPress.
Yeah,
it just kind of simplifies it. Other than that, the WordPress app
what about
is
setting
okay.
like featured images and stuff like that? Like
it's okay. I generally don't publish right from the WordPress app because I found it to be there's kind of some issues usually. But for that, that's a quick tip that I would recommend. Quick tip. A couple newsletters that you should definitely sign up for if you're blogging. I already said the Buffer newsletter.
You can put it on your Feedly thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you could.
You can have a recipe for it.
BeyondYourBlog.com. She sends out a newsletter of different submission opportunities, different guest post opportunities, anthologies, different sites that pay, some that don't pay, a lot that don't pay. So it's just kind of good to be in the know there. If you're looking for kind of entrepreneur kind of stuff, motivational, like inspirational kind of stuff, Marie Forleo, I'll link to it in the show notes. She's phenomenal. I really enjoy watching her stuff and reading her stuff.
She's motivational and you like?
I know.
Just as a side note, Sherry is like not a fan of like motivational speakers or anything like that, and like kind of that
no. So
she kind of considers that cheerleading.
Right. So she gives a lot of good practical advice, which I think is why I like it.
It's not really motivational, then, is it? Like
it's
she like
kind of inspirational
you can do it,
too.
Make
yeah,
10,
kind of.
You can do it. Write that blog.
But here's how you're going to do it.
Okay.
So it's kind of a different perspective. Something else that you should, if you're trying to get your writing out there, or you're just trying to get yourself out there, you need to sign up for HARO. Stands for Help a Reporter Out. I think their website is helpareporter.com. Just Google it. I'll link to it in the show notes.
That is very helpful, and you've used that before.
I've used it. I got into Parents Magazine using that. You've used it, and have got it.
Like Fox, CNN, Entrepreneur.com, a couple HR stuff, a couple sales things. They basically, you can explain it.
Go ahead.
Basically what it'll do is if someone is writing an article or something like that, they'll have a question and they'll look out for, sometimes they'll just look out for experts in certain fields, and they'll just kind of feel the question and get their answer. And some of them are just looking for just everyday regular people. So an example, a gentleman from Fortune magazine, he wanted to ask a question about the driver shortage and all of that, and basically had made a connection with him from other articles that I'd contributed to in terms of just logistics and transportation and the whole industry. So it gives you an opportunity. So it might be a question like, hey, I'm looking for experts in the chiropractic field, and let me know the average cost in the Chicago area of what that is, or looking for experts on the foreclosure market, or looking for credit experts, or anything like that. And some of it too, it just might be like just looking for housewives in New York City, who have fun ways to clean.
Some of it's very general, yeah. So that's a great tool. I know a lot of people that have used it and have had a lot of success with it. It's usually a pretty quick turnaround.
That would be the only thing you got to answer quickly.
You need to check the emails daily. You can sign up to have them come even 3 times a day. Mm-hmm. And usually these writers are on a pretty short deadline, so you need to get back to them quickly if you want a chance to be featured in their pieces. As far as some tools, once you're into the blog post, I like Click to Tweet, just clicktotweet.com. So what you can do is create, a lot of times you go to share an article and it just will show the blog post header, like the title of the blog post, and then link to it. With Click to Tweet, you can actually create what you want them to tweet. So if there's a quotable section in your blog post that you want people to tweet out, you would incorporate that. Obviously, it would link back to your post, and they put it together nicely so that you can incorporate it into your post. And all the reader has to do is click that, and they'll be able to automatically tweet that quote that you set up for them.
I've seen that other companies have done randomly. I'm like, why do they want me to tweet this quote? What's up with that?
Just something a little more, if that quote spoke to you. There's a lot of times where I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. That's a good tidbit. I don't take the time to copy and paste it and share it or whatever. Oh, which brings me back to Buffer. Okay. So if you highlight text and then click the Buffer icon, it'll take whatever text you highlighted into your Buffer thing.
That's cool. And that's through the app, or is that through the... Well, first, a Buffer, is that only an app, or is there also a desktop?
So there's an app, and then I have it, on my laptop, too, as a...
is it an online app?
Is it called an extension? Like a browser?
Oh, it's a browser. It's not like a downloadable app or anything. No, not downloadable app. It's not like a program, like an application.
No, but it's just an extension.
Okay.
If you're ever hosting giveaways on your site, I would definitely recommend Rafflecopter. I've used it a lot. I've always used the free version. Have had great results with it. It makes it really easy for people to enter your giveaway. You can say, tweet this for a giveaway, follow on Twitter for another point. And you can give them a whole list of tasks they can do to gain more points into your contest.
How does it...
And then afterwards, Rafflecopter, you can get a spreadsheet download of all the email addresses that entered and what they did to enter and all of that, and they give you a random winner.
Oh, it does randomly for you, so you can get big favorites. How does that handle more complex contests? Sometimes I've seen people say to enter our contest, like this photo and tag a friend and repost and use this hashtag. Is it able to do that?
I like that Rafflecopter gives you more simplicity, but they have a customize your own entry option. So you could get as complicated as you want.
Yeah, share with 10 people, and if they share with 9, too bad.
I don't know about shares. You're going to have to follow up with that later. But share this with this hashtag or whatever, or leave a blog post
I'm not a fan
comment.
of contests like that, but I don't normally enter contests like that. No. But when I see that, I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen.
Another good tool that anybody should be doing, not just, I think there's like, we're distracted. I think there's a moth that like flew in our air conditioner or something. I think
Moth Rough flew in our air conditioner. It was big.
Anyway, so anybody, whether you're a blogger, no matter your profession, go to brandyourself.com. They will help you set up what shows up when you Google your name. So they'll give you some steps that you can walk through to make sure that you're optimizing those search results. They'll give you some recommendations. Again, to get set up, it's free. You can do quite a lot with the free version. I'm not sure what all the premium stuff goes into. Probably if you have a lot of bad search results when you Google your name, you might have to go premium to fix that. But really, even that would probably be a good investment.
And we could probably even do another discussion just on branding yourself and different opportunities for that. 'Cause, I mean, there are a ton of sites that'll have that too. And the more you have out there, the more you really claim your identity, the better you're going to do.
Absolutely. And one more, MailChimp is a recommendation for newsletter stuff if you're starting out. They have a lot of free stuff. You can be on a free version for, I don't know how many. Maybe the change is how many email subscribers you have.
How many subscribers or how many emails you send out or something like that. Like, I don't think if you have like 500 subscribers, you can't send them like 3 times. I think it might be 1,000 or something like that. Like,
yeah.
Like
it's how often you send it and how many people you have signed up. But they've done a really good job. I've had good experiences with them and use them a lot.
And that does link to a lot of different CRM systems.
Right. So they're incorporated with a lot of things. There's WordPress plugins that then incorporate with MailChimp or widgets. So
you can't send mass emails. A lot of the software providers out there, they don't want to host that in-house and have that come in because of the I guess the CAN Spam Act. So they like to go through MailChimp and stuff like that. So and that's something we looked at recently too. And that and they have pretty funny stuff when you like if you send like a campaign, it'll be like, success, you're awesome. Let me know if there's anything else I could do for something. I forget. It's just quirky.
They have goofy little things. I mean, it's a chimpanzee with a mailbag.
Yeah.
So it's amusing. I wanted to just cover quickly a couple tools if you're dealing with images or design stuff for your blog. You can go experiment with them in more detail, and I'll link to them in the show notes as well. There is free software that you can download that is very comparable to Adobe Photoshop. It is called Paint.net. It's not the Paint program that we all had in elementary school or whatever. And the website is not Paint.net.
What happens if you go on Paint.net?
I don't know.
Do you buy paint?
Probably.
I'm going to have to check that out.
None
of these people are sponsored, by the way.
This is all just our advice. Recommendations. So Paint.net is the name of the software. In the show notes, I will link you to the download page where you can get this. I've been using this for years, and it is great for any photo editing. If you need to do basic cropping, easy. If you need to go deeper and add layers and different
before you had
visibility.
Like Publisher, you did like whole brochures and stuff like that.
Paint.net.
And Paint.net.
Yep. If you don't want to dive into that, Canva is an online tool that is a little bit easier. You can't do as much with it, but that's kind of the point. They have some free images. They have some that are like $1 or something. If you want to pay for an image, you can easily put text over it. You can use some of their templates. It's kind of good for pinnable images and social images if you want to do it quickly.
What about for like a blog image? Is that you'd use Canva too for that if you don't want a stock image, or are they smaller and maybe not as high quality?
No, I mean, you can get good quality stuff through there. I don't use it as much because I prefer to just use my own pictures and use paint.net. But a lot of people do use that. If you're looking for more social media images, kind of like... when you see a quote over a nice background or something. Buffer.
Mm-hmm.
Pablo.
None of these are sponsored yet.
Yeah, maybe in the future. They have a service called Pablo that you can create those images quickly.
There are other apps that do that too.
Yeah, there's plenty of them. I have a couple of them on my phone, kind of playing around with them.
Pretty much Buffer, Sherry's favorite.
There's also, I haven't tried too much with this yet, but it's called PhotoPin, and they have free pictures that bloggers and creatives can use. So I'm not sure. I think the quality would probably vary, but it's definitely worth checking out. I'm sure you just kind of have to give credit to who did it.
Do you do any sort of like meme generators too?
No, I haven't gotten into the meme. I'm sure there is. Don't you think?
I don't know if there's an app, but yeah. I mean, I've used to do like, and I'm not a meme person. I've used it to do one or two things off the website and then save it and then email it to myself. There's an app that would do that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Another one that's pretty cool, it's called Tagsedo, like tuxedo, but tag. Again, I'll link to it. But this one is, you can create word art. So you can put in whatever words you want to use. You can choose what shape it would end up in. You can choose the colors. There's a lot of different options there. I have a piece that's hanging on our wall in the living room that I created on there. But there's a lot of different uses for it. If you're looking for cohesive colors for your branding, for your site, for something, color.adobe.com.
What does that do?
So you can pick a color you like, and then it will tell you complementary colors or there's a couple different options you can click to see, similar colors or opposites or whatever. So basically it'll give you palettes that work really well together.
Okay. So like a happy blue, it'll be like, green it'll be pretty
like
cool. Like
push-pull sales, when I clicked that blue color, it told me that this particular yellow color would go good with it.
There's a reason why I like that.
And there's also fontsquirrel.com. There's a lot of font sites out there, but they're easy to grab, some new fonts and download them for free and use them throughout your stuff. I
Covered
think
a lot.
That was a lot. I threw a lot at you guys. Like I said, I'll have links for everything. Go explore it all. And pushpullsales.com to see all of that, and let us know what you guys think of them. If you have any favorites that we missed, you can tweet us at pushpullsales. But I think that wraps things up for the week.
Yeah, and if you have any suggestions for future podcast topics, also shoot us an email, pushpullsales@gmail.com. You can always tweet us at pushpullsales. And again, just wrapping things up a little bit, I just want to give a shout out, a thank you to bensound.com for our intro and outro music. Thank you for listening. Tune in next week. We'll tackle another topic. If you have any questions or feedback, head over to pushpullsales.com.
See you later.
Take it easy.